live. I want to get into the fact of like, like bottom line, other line, we want to be super positive about words. Matter of fact, let me check and see. I have to live on, make sure I'm working. Getting things straight. It's been a while since I've been live. All right. I see y'all rolling in. I'm trying to get this down off my screen. I got it. Blessings, y'all. But I want to speak basically like since we've been going through our spiritual growth lately. Matter of fact, blessings to y'all. I just kind of want to just holler at all in the chats and speak to everybody. Y'all know what time it is, which I'm gonna kind of be looking at and certain questions, things of this nature. But bottom line is more vibrations on a human experience. This world, matter of fact, I think that Zero song, matter of fact, with the artist Zero Houston, they had this world is not home, just a passing through. My treasures are laid up somewhere beyond the blue. The angels can meet through heaven's open door. And a nigga can't feel at home in this world no more. Can't feel it down. But anyway, we gotta realize it's getting more serious, I should say, about like treating this thing like the Matrix it is in a way. And what I mean by saying a way is realizing to get closer to the spirit, start going back inward, move from the distractions, like how when I first woke and I was with that strong, like all the sports, forget every, like all the stuff, just, which I was being polarizing about it, but more it was about getting in that head spot. How more than ever is important to the observer. It's not nothing is good, is bad. Like, oh, they just shot another brethren down. All right. He'll reincarnate. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how real it's getting. It's getting to the point because we do not die. There's no such thing as birth and death. Matter of fact, that's part of the game right there. Is them creating that birth and, hey, you got your birth certificate. Turn your name into a corporation, treat you like a company, and, mess in that manner. There's no leaving going, like we are here forever. We are everything, everywhere, forever. We're not going anywhere. So it's just getting closer to that place of making sure our subconscious, importantly, is programmed to know that, hey, this is just a game and I'm just playing in it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna kind of look to the side and see y'all. Good blessings, y'all. Blessings. Man, yeah. Shout out to everybody, man, and thank y'all for the love and support. Like, it is great, appreciated. It'll sound cliche sometimes of like love and support thing, but it's not like it is, man. Like, I mean, it's a mutual exchange of energy. Put out the videos, y'all help get my little and all my little stuff out here on my journey, So definitely a mutual vibe. But yeah, let's see y'all. Say the audio is messed. So somebody said the audio messed up. So can y'all hear me, or like? Is it distorted, or what's going on? I'm gonna try to, get a little. Move into that play and go that see. All right. Because right now we're being, and reason why every video I make, when I'm speaking to my reflections, which is I'm also speaking to myself, which I'm speaking to y'all is I'm speaking to myself. After like, all different ups and downs, and our way through this situation, following your intuition, then find out, oh wait, that was ego and not my intuition, all those different vibes, and really trying to find a place and our balance. If I want, it's all up to my mental, type of vibe, so that whole vibration. But anyway, look at me. Yeah, like finding out about like different foods, like eat this, or even down to where you got the doctor says, but like say even with me myself, like I always speak on how I still eat pine nuts or almonds, certain that may not be on, that I'm still eating or whatever. So you do have that aspect of like things we're being told and been even on the highest level. It's all about finding out right now. Now more than ever, following our own truth. Or it's the bad. It's the starting. All right. And I may have to do another one or find another time to do this with better a better signal. Dang, I was very look forward to keeping this video going, but yeah. The synchronicity is definitely getting up. Torrance Garden, I haven't drunk my urine yet. It's like, you haven't drunk your urine? Yeah, not yet. Because it does have like a little cleansing aspect, and it's like could even take a little shamanistic journey off of the urine, but I haven't done it myself yet. So, going all right. And it might be people's connections, I'm not sure, There's no good or evil, what we call the Illuminati, the government, the oppressors, all these people. Guess who they are? They are a vibration of something within you outside of yourself. They are a signification of what's going on within you. Everything outside of us, everything that we experience, point blank period, is something that we brought upon ourselves. It's some type of lesson we're trying to learn, or not say trying, but teaching ourselves and learning about. So when I think because lately too, another reason why I want to speak on this, people who never seen my old videos, who just come around now and see me talk about, say for instance, like melanin and certain things of that nature, they think I'm like harping on being human, yeah, and I'm like, and which I do my best at speaking and saying like, hey, we're in the physical matrix, and this just happened to be the game we're playing in the matrix, and not necessarily, hey, you human, nah, these are just bodies that we're occupying, and when the tides change, as far as like say for instance, at one time, one of us were doing a certain thing that made harmful to the other, and then another, a different color was doing something harmful to the other. All that is just a personification of the energies outside. When I say outside, but like say for instance, in the microcosm, as far like dang, I got my thought zapped a little bit. I was gonna speak a personification of just the balancing of tides. Like at one point, certain beings were on a certain level as far as the feminine energy, and on another level, certain beings at a certain point because of the masculine energy, and then the feminine energy resonated more with the beings that had melanated bodysuits. The masculine energy resonate with the beings who had less melanin in their bodysuit. But it's not nothing, because in which honestly it says something about the people who feel some kind of way when I speak on these situations. That's why I don't even feel bad or nothing, because I know who's barking. Like a hit dog's gonna holler, and especially when you're dealing with your ego. When you win your source, you don't take nothing offensively. Like, when we in our human aspect, we're gonna take something, offensive. So that's why why are you making it about melanin? After I said within it, like, this is all Matrix stuff, Why gotta make it about melanin? And I get the vibe too, though. You definitely don't want to get caught up in, dealing with these things. But again, it's just information. Again, being in the Matrix, I'm in the Matrix, I could speak on it and not be attached to it. Because more than ever, again, we don't want our heart to weigh heavier than that feather, and we want to have our Kundalini. Matter of fact, another thing, having a Kundalini experience or just doing your breathing techniques with meditation, you want to get that torus field activated. You ever seen a tornado when it's not spinning? Right. You does see it, and matter of fact, it's about making that tornado spin so it could exist outside of the physical realm, because we are not beings. We are, we are vibrational beings on the, human experience, or I got materially dense experience. We are lighter, high vibrations. And then, matter of fact, we got this this new moon in Gemini coming up. Matter of fact, I did a video. I did the video and I just gotta post it. But you got energy coming on strong. Matter of fact, that's why right now, if I kind of seem like to me be going to loop or something, maybe to me kind of, a lot of times I'm just, going with the flow. But definitely that Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Mercury deals with communication, and then Gemini energy kind of has a dualistic, manner to it. Then also added to that, the new moon is a full moon, so it's closer to, so it's going to have a very strong aspect about it. That's why we're going to be fit right now, even though it's coming on the 18th, Caribou moon, I'm not too familiar with the painting, waxing, and being able to talk on that. And be honest with you, I'm a person to to act like I know what I don't know. I mean, of course, I know about it because information is within me. But let's just say right now, at the moment, I haven't pull that information out of my being. So can't really even speak on it. Yeah, and that moon, the moon energy. And matter of fact, honestly, if I don't kind of throw this into and don't even drop the other video, I may just improvise and do that. Speak on the new moon energy a little bit as well, but not leaving off of the point of how important it is for us to not get told by what's going on in this matrix. Dom is doing what he's supposed to do. He's an aspect of you outside of you. I always spoke to this too. I'm like, we're all figments of each other's imagination, and that's, and this is say for instance, everything, every aspect, is something inside me. It's like an archetype. That's what I want to get to. It's like an archetype outside of me, So every different aspect, down to, y'all, like everything, versa. Like I tell people, come across me, if you, in the videos I do or this and that, that's because you like that aspect within yourself, Like if you dislike a certain aspect about somebody because you dislike that aspect within yourself. So that's why you kind of coming at that person because you judgmental about yourself. That's where the judgment comes from. This place it comes from inside of Yeah. Everyone getting been unblocked. I'm trying to. But matter of fact, I just started with selling the crystals recently. Matter of fact, I came with a bunch of pieces of rose quartz, so I was able to do with that. Matter of fact, let me go to the tab, but it might have something I want to bring up. Also, matter of fact, great time to work with crystals that connect the throat chakra with the heart, with a little bit of grounding in there as well. Chrysocolla is a great crystal to work with right now because it has a little divine feminine energy in it. Say, for instance, we're going through the ascension process, and sometimes our immune system could be thrown off. And Chrysocolla deals with the heart chakra, and the high heart chakra deals with the thymus gland, and the thymus gland deals with the T cells, which the T cells are released, which heals the immune system. So you don't want to deal with the Chrysocolla, and also Chrysocolla embodies a feminine energy. And dealing with the moon. The moon has the new moon gonna have double the feminine energy because with the new moon being in Gemini, and Gemini dealing with Mercury, and Mercury being in Cancer. Mercury is in the sign of Cancer right now. Cancer deals with emotions, with that motherly nurturing energy. So Chrysocolla is definitely gonna go good with that. See, I almost pulled away, veered off from my thought to get to it, because also Gemini is an air sign. Air sign is gonna do with the mental, and again, communication, but more so the mental, and dealing with balance, balancing things out. Matter of fact, so we're gonna be balancing our mental out, making sure our mental hemispheres, the masculine, feminine, the logic, and the creativity, or the just the different aspects. Matter of fact, I think of and two, not only the hemispheres of the mind, but also just the balance of the mind and the heart as well. Like dealing with the logical mind and dealing with going with the intuition of the heart. And again, back to the Chrysocolla situation. The Chrysocolla, is like that malachite. Sometimes it's mixed in there too. So it's going to deal with that heart chakra very strongly as well. And it has copper in it. So it's going to deal with a little bit of grounding energy. Going to allow for electrical energy to move through your body, and also reason why the ancestors dealt with the copper, like or turquoise, a lot of stuff of that nature, so they could, matter of fact, the ancestors with their ancestors are dealing with the higher when they was around, what I'm saying? And the copper allows for that connection, because in most cases, the energy moves through electricity. You're wondering why, like, you may not hear the voice of some of your angels and guides in certain situations like that, but they can move through electronics and make the clock 11:11 every time you look at it, because they're moving through their electricity, So if you pulsating on a high vibration, electric energy, at a pace, you'll be able to be honest with you. It's not like you can't hear them. It's just that in most cases, some of us not hearing the voice straight up. And we may have to be, say, for instance, be so clear to where we catch the clear cognizant thought of it, and then we find out, what's going on later. You kind of interpret it later, basically. I'm trying to, figure out what y'all, talking about. Can the moon affect you in a negative way when it's to Earth? Not necessarily, in which again, when we think about negatively, just want to say, can it disrupt things? I mean, yeah, it can disrupt things, but you know, sometimes things that may seem like bad, like matter of fact, it's another thing. We got to go through the darkness to get light. That's another part I just thought, man, you better do your shadow work. Finish doing it, because the longer you wait, the more you think that, like, everything has to be, super in the light. You just never want to touch your shadow self and never go through it. I'm pretty sure at this point, like, the universe giving you signs of like, hey, you gotta do this work. You gotta love your shadow, and you gotta move through it. You gotta go through that darkness to get through the light. Dealing with the dark night of the soul as well. Because right now too, we're being pressured to step it up. To get to that level of who we truly, are outside of physicality. So it's definitely so back to the moon situation, where could it affect you negative? I mean, in essence, it may be possible, but I mean, you got to be that alchemist, work with whatever it is, because the universe is always looking out for us in essence, and whatever. So say for instance, whatever lesson it is for us to learn, and our ego may see it as like, man, that's the why I had to lose my girlfriend, when I mean it was more of your ego attached to that girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever, and not cool, so it ended up being something that was good for you, because it was more of your ego that was attached to your soul that was attached to the situation. But to answer that question simply, no simple answer there. I guess that's why I answered the way I did. Basically. No, I'm not doing crystal healing sessions, not yet. Like I've been, I actually want to start doing something on the boardwalk in Venice, but I've been kind of back in my YouTube vibe and back, dealing, also like getting my information again, because it's been a while since I've been like a full-time student. When I had my crib in Baton Rouge, I was able to, have a nice place down and, vibe and, listen to my music. I mean, listen to my, what I was gonna say, like different lectures and stuff like on YouTube and stuff like that, and read different books in a nice quiet spot. So it was easier for me to vibe on that level. And two, the darkness. It's like when I look at me being House of Transition, part of me is my physical person shows this, as well as myself got something to do with me going through this situation as well. And it's just a catalyst to spark an awakening, to remember, oh, that's what I came down for. I know what I gotta take care of and where I gotta take care of it at, basically. And also, it's not about just straight up. I get that. This is let's see. Cartomancy with playing cards. I'm not familiar with that. Also, people, it's cool to ask me any, type of question or whatever. But if you haven't me make a video on it and go into it in depth, then you might not, you shouldn't, might not want to expect that I have an answer to whatever you're asking. But I may, and what's funny is, like being able to tap into much information, make it seem like, and with people like you, master teacher, in which in essence I know that indirectly, I have come down here to teach. I ain't gonna say I did, but I just still don't consider myself that, like a master. Like, I want to definitely master all the things, that I'm dealing with on my growth and constantly grow, but I'm a master student. I continuously grow at student level, you know what I'm saying? That allows for, information to come in, that allows for me to share information, because I'm constantly, and I'm to constantly share as well. Let's see. Wow, videos and the auto. I don't know. Follow my to enter this. Follow my Instagram page, the Epic Lifestyles Instagram page. I don't have any jewelry on there at the moment. As a matter of fact, just look to my latest post. I used to have it to where it was like posted, and you had to go into the picture of the bracelet, and then type so on to buy, But I'm just going with the flow of things, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, because too is about breaking down the old construct of things. I didn't come down here a businessman like the old business construct has it. I came down here to show people like, hey, we guide by it to create how we want to create. Saying, because the only reason why like the business card aspect and all these things still exist is because people just holding strong on, holding on to. We create the universe, point blank period. So the moment y'all drop that is no longer, and I know that. And I ain't gonna lie, sometimes it's overwhelming. It's just like that aspect, like where if you know how to, are co-creative, if you know how to fly and you can do it, but you're around millions of people that just believe in it, then it's gonna hinder your ability to fly to a certain extent, or it's gonna just be difficult, to get off your feet compared to if you were around a bunch of believers and you just start flying and doing circles and all kind of things, you know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing, in comparison with the business aspect, where of course putting words on the video and all that are great, but I'm just in the sauce. Like if the sauce ain't enough for you, then you don't have to watch. I don't feel like I should have to each his own on the people who do. As man, the presentation and like the beauty, like it's beautiful to have little words pop up and stuff like that. Because be honest with you, I like to play with the computer enough to where if I get down to it, I might play around with that type of stuff. I don't see it as something like it's different. I don't see it as like in order for my business to grow, in order for me to share. Because too, I love sharing information, not so much business. It's like indirectly, it brings revenue and stuff that, but it's just more so about information. Because I share, I don't know how many videos I was in, probably like 300 videos in, without seeing one donation or AdSense money was slow because because my YouTube channel was, I was doing it a nice little while without seeing type of payment, just the love. Matter of fact, do what you live and the money will follow. Shout out to Illuminati. It's like we ain't about that hard work, we're about that heart work. You know what I'm saying? Like the hard work, not the hard work. That little terminology Trump and all the people from Shark tell you, so they could get you to be a worker for them, or so they could get you to work on some stuff to invest and just buy out your stuff. It's not that. Excuse me, I'm not catching everybody's questions and comments. I'm just going through it. Universe don't make no mistakes, so but definitely. So remember too, again, remember to stay connect close to that high self. I got the selenite working with nice, staying close to that background, because we are trans energy, especially I don't know this terminology no more, but the empaths, the people who's we're gonna be feeling out of different, because some of them, matter of fact, will check on the different types of empaths. Some of us, which all have all those in us, but some of us feel stronger than others. Like some of us feel the impact of the whole world more stronger than another person who senses it. Some people energy feel animals more than other energy. Some feel the energy of using plants more than, it varies. But right now, the spiritual growth, we're gonna be feeling other people's energies. We may be feeling the energy of the whole, world where you look. So, don't judge yourself. Don't be mad at yourself. Don't think that you did anything wrong. Just stay in that neutral spot, observe, and just make sure you're doing what you gotta do to keep ascending. Don't and stay away from things that's trying to make you stuff. Importantly, if you on that vibration, if you got just a drop, and this is the thing too, y'all. This is what you learn about certain things, like when you cross realms with psychedelics. Not telling anybody to take psychedelics. I'm just saying, when you cross realms with psychedelics, as that percent of anything, so a small edge of fear is still. Got to get out of that place of being, fearful, because also that's why I speak to too, like how, some of us being fearful of so say for instance, I'm about to get to aspect of being fearful. Matter of fact, and I just remembered it, being attached to this physical plane. Mama is just like being a prisoner institutionalized, as above so below on that aspect. It's just like a prisoner who's used to his ID, or evil, in the jailhouse, because in the jailhouse, I got all my, I get all the top ramen, I don't know how many cars, cigarettes, I'm respected. Them brethren respect me on this block or this and that, what I'm saying? Same thing, for people with the ego and this physical matrix, and they both, what I'm saying? Your, the prism of light, or your body is holding the prisms in, what I'm saying? But, it's basically like being institutionalized. So some of us, we've been in jail so long, we forgot what the outside life feel like. We forgot what it feels like to be a vibration again. You know what I'm saying? And that's what ancient, our indigenous, indigenous relatives and ancestors, deal with psychedelics, dealt with them back in those days until now, because they know to continue to keep that connection to the unseen realm, because this realm ain't about it. Excuse me. Did you say it ain't about shit? Making a video to help wake us up. Oh, somebody pull a fire alarm on. In fact, I don't know. I have to stop the video. Thing happens for a reason. I want to check out these videos. These questions and stuff like that before I go, at least. Oh, Regina Mosley can't answer. The BMT is inside you. All right, y'all, gotta ask y'all though. Is that noise? Is that noise too loud to where it's throwing off my voice? Somebody answer me real quick, because I will have to stop if it is. All right, cool. Just had to make sure. Because of course, time after the energies move. It's real in the field. Matter of fact, in the city of angels, this is a battlefield for, the light and dark energies, you know what I'm saying? And again, it's all a personification of, what's going on within, balancing myself within. But it's also a little bit of an aspect of, when you're dealing with the, with the light in a certain way, there are certain beings that don't want to see you consciously awaken, and that being triggers somebody to put that fire alarm. That's how it works. Down to dealing with your friends and relatives, where they may do or say things that seem like like, damn, did they purposely do some demonic stuff to me? Like, what's going on? It's just that because they have some lower vibrations, some vibrations in their body low enough to latch on to and move into their body and operate through them, so that's also how that works. So yeah, I'm just trying to see, get back to daily natural living. I'm doing great. How about yourself? Yeah, man, I don't know why the auto vehicles, when I went live, maybe it just automatically set the video to auto vehicles and stuff like that, but it is what it is. As a matter of fact, I just made a video too, speaking on how I do, like I'm unorthodox with the way I do things and how, just where I do my videos, even when I find a nice spot, things and say for instance, going to show you like attracting like energy vamp situations. When I sat here to do this video, I wasn't sitting here like, oh man, I think somebody or something is gonna, like, no, that's why I did the live video. I felt good about it. I'm like, yo, let me do this video, you know what I'm saying? And you got the fire alarms going off, coincidence in a universe with no coincidences. It is all good. Oh wait. Uh-oh. What? Bruh, hold on. Jacero G. Shout out to you. Which the people still talking over it. Like, but I don't know. That let you clap. That did something, but again, and that's another level. Again, we manifest everything, you know what I'm saying? If we have doubts about ourselves, then that's what, then the things that seem like they're stopping us is because our own inner doubts, you know what I'm saying? Like we are, ye are gods, children of the Most High, like we are able to create. No matter of fact, we are psychokinetic, and because we look at psychokinesis on that superhero level, like, hey, I'm not just automatically making things pop out of the sky as soon as I think of it, or vision it. Of course, you're co-creating, so it takes a little time, and then we're in a vibrational density, being in this material realm, so things gonna take time, but we create with our thoughts and our words, words of spell, spelling words, like it's all spells, but again, it's all having to do with our inner universe. And right now is the time. The bottom line, back dealing with this video, is that we create everything in this universe. And the moment that you think that is not true, and that's when you hand your power over to these different beings, like down to like where you get a ticket from the from like law enforcement, whatever, man. You don't have to deal with that maritime law and all type of stuff. Like you don't have to deal with it, But it's when you feel you have to deal with it, then you have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like, man, can't do this, oh man, that's what happens, So I get back to that mode of really, and again, being our true selves, finding out what works for us. Down to diet, down to the way we carry ourselves spiritual, the way we meditate, and, all those different things. We are all uniquely different, you know what I'm saying? So even though a book may say, oh yeah, it's extremely healthy, for us all to be vegans, that doesn't mean that it's like you can't eat meat. There's consequences that everything, you know what I'm saying? And plants are living just as much as animals, Now, of course, we are going outside our means too. When you do meat and stuff like that, you are going outside your means. As far as like if we meant on a certain level to be carnivore, we would have the fangs, we'll have the night vision, we'll have the call. Basically, we'll have the ability to butt naked and go in the woods and track down whatever it is with no gun. Like, say for instance, you look at animals in nature, do any animal use a gun? You know, what animal use weapons to, you know, get what they eat? None of them. But again, and that's another thing. When I speak on these things, I'm neutral in this aspect. I don't care if you eat meat or vegetables. You eat what you want to eat. This is a free will universe. You do as you please. Whatever your higher self, oversoul telling you to do, that's who you listen to. You don't listen to me or nobody else or any little self-realization book. Of course, you read it and take whatever resonates with you from it. But it's not about like just, oh, they're talking about is the bottom line, I'm gonna just go with that. You know, you gotta feel things out from your own inner heart's intuition. You know? Cause that's another thing, moving into the heart. That brain have you everywhere. That brain gonna have you in a fearful spot. Like, matter of fact, because in most instances, when you're dealing with fear have you worrying about. Matter of fact, in your thoughts, you thinking about them that ain't even happened yet. You know, I ain't say yet, but they ain't even happened. You know, well, I say yet because if you continue to be fearful about it, oh, it's gonna manifest. You know, that's why I got rid of my gun. I remember when I got down my gun after my father transition. You know, and first it started off with visions, in which I look in hindsight, it was my higher self telling me to get rid of that shit. But it's like I was catching visions of having to shoot people and stuff like that. And I, you know what, bro, just to hell with that. And then when I got further in my spiritual path, I realized, you know, that I'm not going nowhere. So I'm like, what do I even need a gun for? But in essence, though, I keep it real. Like when I had that one of my trips, and I was told so straight up, you know, how I was like, man, I want to stay. Like, you know, of course, my family members gonna be boo-hoo-hooing or this and that, because they don't understand. They don't understand how the universe works. I definitely was like, bro, I could definitely stay. You know, I'm definitely feeling the vibrations here. You know, and in most cases, a lot of times we think we're going, oh, you know, for lack of a better word, we say out in the universe. You know, going to this planet, that planet. All this exists within us. You know, you're going in the innerverse. You know, the micronaut. That's why a lot of us is not doing what we love. It's because of that fear, you know, being scared of what somebody gonna think, you know. Oh man, like and go through it, you know, because whether it's our own inner fear or, you know, you picked up on somebody else's fear. But I like to say, if you picked up on somebody else's fear, it's still yours in essence, because if it happened to you, it was meant to happen to you, you know. But let me see what everybody's talking about. I try to go backwards and see what I miss and then go down. In fact, but yeah, that clap 3 times. And that's how synchronized the universe is. That's another thing. Once I found out that my thoughts and words and action, all this, you know, most of my visualization, thoughts, and who I hang around and what I'm consuming on all levels, once I realized that manifesting the physical, it's like, all right, well, let me spend my time focusing mostly on what I really into and what I really want to deal with, you know. That's why we find ourselves moving away from the small talk, you know, of people who may be spiritually growing, you know, but they're just not the same exact, you know, level as you. That don't mean we have to completely like, oh no, I just can't never go around. You know, there's gonna be a time where you'll be vibrating on the same frequency and y'all come together and you know, let it be genuine. You know, y'all genuinely vibing on the same frequency. You know, you vibe and then, you know, go the other way whenever you back to your growth. You know what I'm saying? Because that's another thing, you know. Part of that, again, it all stems to fear. You're fearing that you're gonna hurt somebody's feelings. So I fear that I'm gonna hurt somebody's feelings, so let me jeopardize my spiritual growth and ascension. Let me jeopardize my soul, because I fear somebody's feelings in a physical matrix that I shouldn't be taking serious. You know? It's like, don't want to do that. This is, a matrix that, and two, I call that like, because a lot of people may ask, well then why we gotta treat it, like we like being here, and we just vibing with the motions until to the transition to the next, because another thing too is nearly impossible to intellectualize, source or the vastness of, all the situations we're dealing with in the universe, like it's so much going on like that, your brain can't even operate and deal with that on that level, you know what I'm saying? Like, to intellectualize, source, or try to, or sitting around trying to figure it out with your brain, like, yeah, I wonder why. Of course, if you're looking for answers, you deal with your higher self, ancestors, but you're not trying to like sit down and let me ponder why things are like, nah, you don't want to get caught up in your brain, You're trying to get closer to that heart space, basically. So the closer you get to the heart, to that divine intuition, the less you get disrupted by that, that lower vibrational form of the ego. Because to a certain extent, the ego has its healthy benefits. I always joke about, the ego is needed to know when I get hungry, instead of sticking the spoon in somebody else's mouth, I stick it in mine, So, of course, there is a to the ego as well. Like, matter of fact, it's like the healthy aspect to Saturn, like how Saturn get the bad rap of being, Satan, and it's known for the boundaries. Matter of fact, and because the government use it. Matter of fact, just like money. Matter of fact, the government use money, Saturn, and then you think about the Nazis with the swastika, and all three of those things are something that either had a good vibration to it, quote unquote, or it was neutral, and then they took it and did something with it because you view it as bad, then you put a bad vibration to it. That's another reason why you shouldn't see no bad and no good. Like, we're all just moving through the motions, like, slavery was not bad or good, it was just something that had to happen for our spiritual growth, because when you get caught up in, I'm a black man, this and that, man, and my people this and my people that, you gotta watch out. You get caught up, you get into the pride of being a human, you know what I'm saying? Because even down to when I make the videos about melanin, and be honest with you, to a certain extent, it's not me jumping in the quicksand, but I would be lying if I didn't say I make some videos to reach to those people who like just beginning their growth and not fully on those concepts of like where most of us are at. I make videos for people who just, peeping their head through the door. That's why I tell people, that's why I ignore a lot of the comments of people who just, knock some of those videos. Come like, obviously that video wasn't for you, or whatever the case may be, But sometimes, matter of fact, I use the analogy of like, sometimes, like how, again, like when we helping others, it's not meant for us. If I'm pulling somebody out of the quicksand, the way to help them is not to jump into the quicksand with them and occupy that they're occupying. I maintain my vibration. I reach my hand down and try to pull them up to get to where we going. You know what I'm saying? But some videos, I keep it real. Like a picture like on a cartoon, somebody trying to pull somebody out of quicksand. Instead of just standing on the edge and holding my hand out, sometimes I lay on the ground and how on the, like somebody, matter of fact, perfect example, like when somebody trying to catch somebody from falling off a cliff and they land on their stomach and the person hanging over the cliff. Sometimes I reach my hand deep in there, because matter of fact, that's what I don't wear these for nothing, like the crystals. This I don't wear the crystals for nothing, which just, that's where I love quartz, but man, quartz just be, sometimes it be a little too overwhelming for me, especially with this new moon energy coming right now. But anyway, back to the point, not the point, but to what I was saying, sometimes I I may do videos to reach out and, pull that person, that's at the beginning of their growth or whatever, to where once they hear something that kind of resonate a little bit, they'll dig a little deeper, but again, I could just only go so far because I'm not hopping back into the mind frame of thinking, that I'm human. Because I'll be honest with you too, though. That's why I never was fully in my subconscious. Because ever since a little, now if I ask what make us, these star beings, these old souls, even since a kid, I knew it was more to shit. You know what I'm saying? I knew I wasn't just no human. Like I'm like, nah, bro. Like it's more to this than just having to just be a human that goes to school, get married, work the rest of your life, and then die. Like I know had that vibe, but definitely more than ever is important to realize, that you are a vibration on a human experience, and not a human being spiritual. Or should I say, you're a spirit on a human experience, and not a human being spiritual. Yep, moonstone with new moon, definitely. Matter of fact, another good crystals to work with right now, ruby and garnet. Ooh, got a little ruby, but I know you won't be able to see it too good. Matter of fact, with ruby, you'll be able, if you got a piece crystal and you can't tell whether it's ruby, garnet, or something of that nature, but try if it's ruby or not, which I say it is like black lights are conveniently everywhere, but at the end of this, so you can't argue one, but if it's that serious, but use a black light. If you put crystal on the black light, if it's ruby, it's gonna definitely the iridescent, effervescent, we say, it's gonna shine through on a high level, basically, Yep. Dealing with a lot of lessons. Just excuse me, I'm just trying to look through, see type of questioning, because that's mostly what I do live videos for too. Like of course I kind of keep a little set basis. Of course you want to have a little something to talk about, but in essence it is for me myself personally is also interact a lot with y'all as well. Goddess Eve, how do you reach out to your ancestors when you do not know who they are? I mean, think about, your higher self. Have you, like, it's not about, I don't know all of my ancestors, like, so when you're reaching out, we just use ancestors for lack of a better word, but, thin you. So back ancestor situation, you don't have to know, but just, ask, man, higher self. Because, I mean, think about it like this, even hands have physically met your higher self, your higher self has a name. Oh, you still connecting with that, you know what I'm saying? So the same thing, the ancestors, Now it helps to know names and stuff like that in essence, but again, we are the technology. Meditation. Whenever you're meditating and clearing your mind, you'll be able to call to your higher self and ask divine ancestors or spirit guides who watch over me. May I have a stronger connection to my ancestors or spirit guides. May the voice of my ancestors come to me with an extremely high level of clarity. You gotta ask things. We manifest everything. So if you have a problem connecting with something, you gotta ask. Asking it is given. Abraham Hicks book on that. You know what I'm saying? Like asking it is given. What focus on grows and manifests. So it's like at this point too, getting away. That's why, like, where with us doing videos become a little bit of a paradox, because we're telling you go inside, but then we're doing videos for people to look at, and again, it's about, just like with the internet, somebody could sit here and abuse my videos and just sit here and watch them and don't do their own work and just depend on universal frequencies, depend on universal, but that's your fault. It's not my fault because I make videos like, because you made YouTube videos and I watched them too much. I didn't sin. It's your fault. No, that's your. I make the videos. However you use them, that's your responsibility. On how you govern your soul. But that's why, and as of lately, I always try to throw in there, hey, it's about going within. Hey, everything with with our thoughts, our words, with our mind, with our what we visualize, we create. There's nothing. Everything is possible. Like, that should be your affirmation. I am limitless. Everything is possible. Start, and it's not just about affirmations, and visualize yourself doing whatever you deemed yourself of doing, and it's like whatever. Matter of fact, but again, it's about dealing with what we're transitioning to. You know what I'm saying? We're transitioning to a high plane of existence. And lower vibrations. Matter of fact, back to and which and when I do this, I know sometimes, like, I think about, as soon as I say, like, when I say I got videos on this, I know sometimes because I got so many videos and things of this nature, and because the titles may not speak to what all is on the video, but again, like, I got a lot of videos that speak to this. And matter of fact, another thing too, getting back to that, because again, almost everything I am speaking, I added a little new sauce to what I'm speaking on. But again, there's a little bit of this in all my videos. When I first had my awakening, I was hitting it strong on basically, like, again, like, I at first, and you see the growth, because at one time I felt like I had to be like on some monk stuff, like completely remove myself from everybody almost at all times, so I realized, well, no, it's a balance, because not being able to deal with certain aspects outside of yourself is like not dealing with your, certain aspects within yourself as well. So, I had to realize that lesson in that. But again, raising Kundalini, how I raise my Kundalini? By doing yogic breath. If I don't have a video on that, in through the nose, out through the nose, and you bring in the energy, you bring in the wind to your stomach. So when you're inhaling, you're bringing it to the stomach area, poking the chest out. And when you when you're exhaling, the stomach is going in, and it's full and deep, almost to the point like you can't no more, and then you can't no more. Then you also got the stimulation of the Kundalini by doing it quickly, where it's like, matter of fact, a little bit of perspiration in there, dealing with a little bit of this vegan pizza earlier, which, even though it's vegan, it had a little bit of but just the bread itself kind of caused me, for that mucus. For the bad way, it's just that when I'm super clean, and matter of fact, another thing is balance. The reason why I ate that pizza, because my higher self was like, hey, you need to balance your pH level, because there is a such thing as getting sick from alkalinity. When the 7-day God rested on that 7th pH level. I think I just spoke to that in another video, but check out what y'all talking about. Let's see. Any question that I could deal with? Oh, and back to speaking about the ancestors again, but also dealing with different beings, because I realized myself when I first started that, like, working with Kali Ma, you got to realize these are aspects within yourself, and you got to make sure you're not dealing with it in a worshiping, like just in a manner where you become serving those beings more than dealing with what you should be dealing with in this timeline. You know what I'm saying? You got a certain aspect of yourself, or say for instance your own unique vibration that you're dealing with. You didn't come down here to act out the life of Kali Ma or Papa Legba for myself, because I even had that omens on the acid trip before. Not telling nobody to take acid, I'm just talking about myself. On the acid trip, basically, and two, like with acid, we are each other's shamans. I was tripping with a brethren, and I was in that little Papa leg and trickster like that vibing. And matter of fact, I think not too long ago, I had like a video about like acid trips or about tripping. Like but anyway, like how the Papa Legba energy was, and then my brethren, was each of us speak from source at different times. My brethren was speaking from source in this moment. He was like, look at universal frequencies. He's so fun. Like we love universal frequencies. He's so fun. Like almost like the, like he was speaking from a place of like where some of these ancestors that kind of abuse the authority of dealing with you as far as like hopping into our bodies and like almost like use us in that sense, and that's what he's pointing at, like, oh, universal frequencies, he's a fun one, him, like almost like we could use him up, like, hey, like, so you do want to be careful at the way you deal with these energies. It's you are the end all be all as far as with your spiritual growth is about dealing with your own inner universe, dealing with your own darkness, and it's about loving yourself and not having any regrets. We all done been on the dark and light side of these cycles. Like we all been the person that probably at one time we was the oppressor or the child molester, and then on one side he was the person being oppressed or the person being molested or whatever you're saying. Like it's just different situations in order for us to create growth. In order for us to grow, we have to go through these situations. Like a baby may come down just to get a little bit of information, like, or two, just for that experience. Like, all right, I want to see what it feels like to come into the world for a few seconds and come right back. Let me see if I'll remember that I just came from that realm. Maybe like say for the baby, I ain't gonna say die, like for the babies that transition as soon as they come out, you know what I'm saying? Like it may be it could be different things, but one of the situations again was like, let me like say from a soul aspect, and that's another thing. Think of this from a soul aspect, like a soul coming down to a place that could lock me in. I could possibly get trapped in this thing and lose my memory. You gotta think about it like that. So it's like, man, let me see if I could come down there for you can speak and come with my, with the memory of leaving, like to see if like once I get in the physical, do I just get completely brainwashed, or and then after I do that on a baby aspect, since I know that I cause some people to feel sorrow or whatever, I come back and let me see what it feels like to be in that position of like, the parents that I picked and that I came out the portal of my mom and then transitioned. Let me see what it feels like a parent that has to deal with that. So my next lifetime, I'm gonna be a mom that actually will have a kid that transition, or I'll be a dad who kid transitions soon to see what it feels like to actually look at it from that aspect. And that's why even down to the white, black, like the races and different things. We just all nations on the human experience. Like we all are. Just different aspects in it. We have uniqueness too, like like there's a certain uniqueness again, but it's just uniqueness for us to grow. It's not let me look at myself separate from this. but then you're gonna train yourself in this matrix. You wanna get caught in Chuck E. Cheese with the lights off. Imagine in there with those little smiley all the machines. So you don't want to be in this thing, you know. Want to be on the next, you know. Want to get to the next level, you know. Like kind of like I told so whenever I had my little basically like a transition on my DMT trip, and I was like, bro, I could, well, bro, sis, most importantly, you know what I'm saying, sis, bro, man, I could stay, you know, I don't have to go back, you know, I'm feeling the vibe here, you know, like, but nah, you know, the reason we chose to be here, and with us being here, it's not about us just accepting, you know. Of course, we want to look for ways out and look for answers to really find out, you know, like more so of not so much of the why, but like, all right, I just, you know, where I chose, and let me find out why, so I could transition, you know, like find out what my purpose, not say why, but let me find, you know, why I chose to come down here, like, you know, like what's my soul purpose, and then get a, you know, a vibe from that. Ooh, speak on labradorite for a moment. Labradorite, good for, you see, unorthodox, bouncing everywhere. Labradorite is good for the, most importantly, the magic of the hands. And two most important things is good for Reiki work and the magic of the hands, and it's good for stopping tears in the auric field and for fine intuition and metaphysical ability. Matter of fact, speaking, I saw somebody say something about expressing yourself. That's another thing. Again, back to staying away from the fear. Like, just think about it. That's why everything and everybody that's like, you know, that's kind of an oppressing type of vibe, you know, they trying to get you to be fearful of something. You know, that's why scary movies exist, to make you scared of the dark, you know. And matter of fact, back to the Kundalini experience, if say for instance, you transition without getting your, you know, without working on the Kundalini, or without working on your Taurus field and spinning your Merkaba, activating your Merkaba, and matter of fact, I got a Merkaba meditation video as well. If you happen to transition without these things, then say for instance, you're not a human. If you have to think that you are a human, you're not. You know, so when you transition out of the body and you go back to being what you truly are, which is you know, a vibration that has all these advanced, you know, mechanisms around it to maneuver, you know. And because I'm just thinking about how I did do some good videos about this, but like you know, you gotta know how to drive the ship in order to drive the ship. Like, so say for instance, if you're not steering your plasma right now, and matter of fact, for myself, I have to do it a lot for meditation and stuff like that, because I don't battling with my little demons or whatever, keeping me away from sleeping at night, or not say sleeping, but like dreaming or lucid dreaming, because lucid dreaming is where you really get the practice in of like moving your plasma field and, you know, dealing with certain beings and stuff like that, and going to certain little, but got that quick while I was going, oh well, I'll get back to it. I remember. Dang, I was what I was talking, oh, I do, see, when it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Dealing with the Merkaba, you know, you got to activate these things and know how to move these vehicles now, so when you get behind the wheel of it, for real, you won't crash. You know, you got to take some driver's ed. Take your driver's ed classes right now while you're in the physical, like, you know, and when I mean in the physical, like while in the physical, when you get the chance, you know, go into the non-physical realms, you know, through meditation, through psychedelics, you know, which I'm not telling people to take that. I'm just saying, you know, that's a way to do it. You know, and activate, you know, these certain energies that allow for you to maneuver through these certain planes, you know. Because if you're not able to move in a certain direction, or say for instance, perfect example, what we focus on grows. So some of us find it hard to manifest things because we have trouble focusing on what we're dealing with. So if you having trouble focusing on things while you're in the physical, and then boom, you transition and you're trying to focus on getting your Merkaba to move you to a certain point, you won't be able to do it because you wasn't focusing when you was in the physical. So it's gonna have that. It's gonna throw you off in the non-physical level as well. And again, to a lot of the newcomers, definitely check out some of the older videos. As a matter of fact, and more so too, because when I was in Baton Rouge, which I'm getting back there, which is like a refined energy where I've been going through things out here, so I'm back to that clean vibration of what I was dealing with when in Baton Rouge, but also with some lessons and more attached on to that. You know what I'm saying? But like my older videos were, information was definitely very, very on point. Not to say that it's not, but I went through my little growing pain. Matter of fact, you saw my growing pains video, growing pains of LA. I've been dealing with certain things, but it's all stuff that I asked for, that I signed up for, in which we say signed up for lack of a better word. I put it like this: I can't necessarily change it in essence. Yeah, definitely check out those older videos to the people who's not familiar with some of the older videos that I've done. Because another thing too, of course, I'll repeat myself, but to a certain extent, I feel that if I did a great job at explaining something before, I may slaughter it by trying to reiterate on it. It's like strike while the iron is hot. Some information, I was just sharing in the moment, going with it. And the moon was talking, man, a lot of things will talk to you when you're dealing with the psychedelics. That's why I bullcorn about vegan people and eating the plants. I'm like, shit, you ain't never took shrooms and heard the plants and stuff, living and stuff like that too. Now I keep it real though. For the most part, fruits don't mind getting eaten. Fruits is kind of like, hey, this is my purpose. If you don't eat me, I'm just gonna fall to the ground and rot. And I say rot in essence because from that, but in most cases, it's through us eating it. Because matter of fact, when you eat the fruit, because say for instance, vegetables, in most cases, vegetables don't have seeds in it. So when you take a vegetable out or whatever, you actually, in essence, killing that plant. Because it's not like a tree where, say for instance, like a celery tree, where the tree just stays there and the celery constantly grows from it. No, like you got to plant little seeds of celery, grow, and you take that plant completely out and you eat it. Just like you remove an animal from what it's dealing with. But like a fruit, it's growing from a tree and it's constantly going to be replenished. And again, as they say, they definitely know that that's their purpose, and that's. Again, don't take things so serious, like with everything, you know what I'm saying? Reason why it's so important to know that you don't die and that you never, there's no being born, there's no dying. It's to get you away from the heavy energies too, of like a mourning over people transition. Like, they transitioning, they're not going nowhere. You're not going nowhere. Somebody just trying to thank you, somewhere, or that you're gonna die because they they got an agenda. see. Looking for some questions. Let's see. Does it manifest while meditating? I mean, again, that's another thing. All right, with all this, I'm speaking on meditation, eating healthy, all these different things. What works for you? You have a guide within you that tells you what works right for your body, mind, soul. You know, I can't give you the exact motion. You know, like that. That's up to you. You sit down and meditate, and if visualizations during meditation, it helps for you, and that's good. Like sometimes I have to like I do my void meditation or my meditation, clearing the mind, like just blank mind. And then if I'm trying to meditate on manifesting something, or I should say do my visualizations, that's after, besides the regular in the night meditation, then I get to the side and then like sit there and just envision. Like say for instance, the other day I wanted to eat some food from Little Ethiopia, so I sat there and I envisioned, eating the food. Like I sat there and I even faked like I had the injera bread in my hand and grabbing the lentils. There's things that we do, like we do show love within this matrix, and that's the paradox. Don't try to figure it out. Just follow your heart and go with the flow. When you thought, like Andre said, when you're thinking too much, shout to 3 stacks. When you're thinking too much, you're moving what's moving. Point blank, period. Matter of fact, I don't know if the video will stop. Just looking through the souls that aren't following their purpose transition sooner. Yes, that's in most cases. That's why people transition. Matter of fact, that's almost like the answer to, like, you basically with that question, you kind of almost answered it. Like, yes, that's most of the reason why people transition at an early age or whatever. And two, though, in essence, regardless of whether it seems soon, there's no such thing as it being sooner in essence anyway, though. Like, that's us thinking about, you're supposed to live like a baby, not supposed to transition. Like, because you're thinking that we think of it as a form of dying, so it's like, oh, sooner, or like it's no sooner or later. Whenever you transition, that's the right time for you to transition, even if it seemed like it was foul play from the government or something like that, it's still your time, in that sense, quote unquote time. Again, we basically just all playing a game with each other, like for spiritual growth. Somebody trying to make you think this thing real so they could have company. Misery love company. They're trying to, and that's why, again, to remember to activate the Kundalini, activate your chakras, activate that Merkaba, through meditation, It's Merkaba. In fact, you don't even have to go through the Merkaba meditation like what I got on my YouTube channel. Oh, things moving slow. I say, like, I got on my YouTube channel because I ain't even do it myself. I just went through it, enough to where I felt the difference, and I'm like, all right, cool, but it's about activating these things, so knowing you in the matrix and making sure you make your subconscious know for sure, like by again, meditating on a level where you get to that space of like feeling that unseen realm so much to where you stop resonating with your physical. You could feel the bliss of connecting with that other side, like, all right, I'm not going. That's why the Native Americans, for lack of a better description, however, I'm not into the political correct terms or whatever. Whoever make things politically correct anyway. Like, that's when natives still got like reservations and stuff like that. Like, they wouldn't completely taken over because they knew, like, man. In fact, it was a quote from Indian where it's like, any day is a good time to to transition in so many words, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, I ain't going to, matter of fact, like Mark Harvey said, catch me in the whirlwind. And, you know, and then you got catch me in the world, and then you got these hurricanes that come in, you know, like a whirlwind from the ocean. They come off the coast of Africa to hit America. Catch me in the whirlwind. I'm not going nowhere, Jack. Not going nowhere. Come fearful and you think you're going somewhere. That's where they mess things up. That's where they get us. So again, you got, and that's where too, where things get to company you keeping. Somebody could be a relative, you know, a good friend. It could be somebody, back to how I talk about, you know, spiritual going too, you know, and learn these aspects, but they're not fully there, and they kind of always, you know, kind of catching the urge to bring up fearful. First you check it and bring it up like, hey, look, man, you know, don't worry about that. Like, you know, you fear mongering yourself and you creating fear around me, man. Then after that, if you see, I just can't help it. Like, they just still at the age where they just gotta, and two, gotta go through the motion. Ain't nothing wrong with what they're going through. They gotta go through the motions of fear or whatever, in order to realize that it's something that they shouldn't be dealing with and grow out of it. But you know, definitely want to just move away from that vibration on all levels. You know, important thing. Let's see what else I got. All right. Let's see. Thanks for y'all patience dealing with this live video, because I had you know, the vibe of it, like you know, up at the beginning. Some people was you know, kind of moving a little straight. Matter of fact, to get ready to stop because it seemed the only person in this little area. Oh, it's a club over here. I said a little lounge, club, little club lounge, whatever. Matter of fact, and also that's another aspect. Getting in nature, you know, going plant your feet in the ground, getting close to nature. In fact, because we're dealing with these stuff a lot, you know, get you some shungite, some shunt, you know, to help those harmful from you know, those lower frequencies, electric lower frequencies, however, whatever else stand for. No. That's pretty cool that, you know, interacting with each other. Shout out to y'all. You know, I see reflections, you know. Yes. Finding our tribe members as well, you know, like souls that really resonate, or where we all resonate with each other. You know, we're starting to, you know, come and find each other, you know. Ready to this other side. Two, and what else, making sure again that I'm not because it's a new video and I feel like I'm talking about things, and something as I'm talking about, I'm like, a video about this, like, matter of fact, extensively about this, you know, so I be kind of, that's why I be like saying stuff and then kind of falling off of it, you know. And I'm unorthodox, you know, so yes, matter of fact, as so below, how first, you know, you gotta ask for the information, you got for, you know, a little bit of both. So, you know, with my YouTube not having the videos just easily attainable, in essence, you know, the information is there. You just gotta follow your heart, you and your being. Look, matter of fact, you're in your brain too much looking at titles and all that. You just kind of gotta film and which title might resonate with you and that, but don't let it be from the main. Like just feeling that this video is gonna have the information that you're looking for. Cause I do that sometimes myself. I come across a certain video. You know what? This title don't seem like that interesting or that I might really want to get into, but there's a certain feeling, something is telling me that I should watch this video. So there's also that aspect as well. Yeah, blessings to y'all. Thank y'all for participating in the live chat. Thank y'all very much. I'm about to go. I know people like with an hour-long video, but see, it's a live video, so it's different. Touch on all those different aspects. I'm soon about to go. Let me look through my tablet, see what else. Well, also kind of end on this note. Moon coming in on the 13th of June. Again, it's gonna be dealing with compassion. Being truthful with compassion more so, and also communicating your emotions to people in essence of like sharing how you feel. Let's just say it like that, like letting a person know how you truly feel about situations. And also, as Mercury is involved due to the Gemini, energy and being ruled by Mercury, is gonna have the energy of commerce in there as well. So also dealing with business. Make sure you're being compassionate when you communicate. And also with Gemini is the twin, the dual nature. So you want to balance that dual, the dual aspects of different things. So again, losing into the singularity and realize, everything is all one. Just polarities in this situation ain't this aspect and we gotta fight it against. This is the other aspect and we gotta sit. Necessarily, it's about balancing the energies within yourself. When I say go within yourself, that's all I'm saying is find a way to balance within yourself. Be able to love your dark side and light side. And I feel like, all right, I gotta be all the way on the light side. I gotta be all the way on the dark side. Find that middle place. And two, back to the dealing with the Gemini energy in the air sign balance. Balance. And matter of fact, Gemini to do the twins, balancing those twins out, balancing the masculine and the feminine, balancing the mind against the heart's intuition. Aspects. Send the diet out. I'm gonna eat extremely healthy, but ask for some, because too is a mind soul check. When you're doing things, you want to please in all three aspects. Because sometimes the taste buds and the gut fact as above so below, some of you guys personified as like the different parts of your consciousness in your body. But like how your stomach has a conscious in essence, where it could get hungry, and along with the taste buds attached to the taste buds, and it could have the vibe of like, all right, I want to taste something that tastes like this, very, very sweet. But right now, what you're dealing with on your growth, that's not good, eat it anyway. And now you wasn't listening to. Now you throw off the book connection because you was only hearing out one person from spec. Like, you can't just hear out just the mind, you can't hear out just the soul, you can't hear out just the body. Listen to all three. Balance. As a matter of fact, when you get in the 333 you know, or the three in some type of form or fashion, you know, synchronized numbers, is letting you know one or two things with that situation. It's letting you know that you're on point, you're doing good, balance your mind, body, and soul. Or is letting you know, hey, you need a little work on in that area and balance your mind, body, and soul. But you know, it's definitely about that balance. I always bring up get the sun. The sun not scorching us, nor is it hiding from us. It has a balanced connection with us. It keeps us just warm enough, you know. Is the water overflowing and drowning all of us, or is it you know, drying up? No, it has a balance to how much it is around. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a balanced flow to everything. You know, definitely. Yep. Matter of fact, I see somebody talking about the throat chakra crystal. Yeah, dealing with the Gemini energy again, communications with Mercury. So definitely want to work with the throat chakra crystals. I brought up Chrysocolla. You know, matter of fact, Chrysocolla embodies the feminine energy. You know, so that deals with the moon energy that's gonna be dealt with. It also deals with you know, moving to the heart space. Which is a connection in between the throat and the heart. And matter of fact, and I got a video with the higher heart chakra as well. And then Coca-Cola deals with the throat chakra, speaking up. So it's just basically perfect for speaking up the heart. And then it has the copper in there as well. It's going to create a little bit of a grounding energy with the root chakra. So it's going to have you speaking with a little strength to it. Also, like the little connection to your higher self is going to be stronger. That copper again helps for the electrical energy to move through. But and things just is, because I thought about say things just is without like like how I talk about just now bringing electrical energy through. At one time though, I mean, or in essence, the electrical energy also is what may cause us to age. You know, in essence, that's not, it's no good. Oh, this is good. I'm on this side. I'm on the good side. Or I'm on the bad side. You know, or when you find out that it's an illusion to be on one of those sides, and that the real thing is about balance and knowing that both of those sides are one, you know, one thing. You know, that's where it's at. You gotta find that balance point. Oh, also dealing with the new moon energy. Psychic energy is going to be amplified, but also more so too to in communication with high self and spirit guides. Matter of fact, how strong how strong the connection with Anthony Bourdain connecting with. That was just left field. I'm like, you know, like damn, you know, he's strongly connecting down to today. Where I almost like I ain't gonna lie, I'm used to seeing and dealing with a lot of things on a metaphysical level. But I was very surprised to a certain extent when I saw somebody earlier today. It was like almost a spitting of them. Because of course I got over it, you know, it was just a surprise in that moment. But like as they walk away, I'm like, I was like, how damn, we really connecting, how the synchronicity is really up there, you know, because connections, again, the connections is very strong. So again, the psychic energy on a telepathic level, and so too a bunch of downloads. You're gonna be receiving the downloads right now, you know. So be in that receptive to receive those downloads, you know, as well, you know. Again, that's where the meditation come in. When that brain, you know, the high self still sticking that. Instead of just the download from, you know, high self, spirit guide, whatever, except for just that download being the suggestion box, just that one download, or, you know, or just the downloads from, you know, high self being a suggestion box. You got all kind of mess and everybody else start, you know, your lower self thought just all this noise in the suggestion box, so you never be able to see what your high self is suggesting to you, you know. So that's another thing as well. But again, just be open to receiving messages from spirit. It's gonna be, definitely a lot of that energy with this new moon coming in. And again, new moons is about setting intentions, planting that little seed so you can reap what you sow in the full moon. So the new moon, in fact, got his back turned to getting his affirmation list right, working on visualizations, so when it's big, come back and turn around like when the full moon is like, hey, see, here I go, here I got all the stuff I was working on when I had my back to y'all, working on my little stuff, now it's presenting itself. So, definitely dealing with reaping what you sow, of course. I already spoke to the emotional energy. It's going to be dealing with your emotions just in general, but also dealing with balancing emotions, but balancing well, no, let me just, nah, that doesn't, just, I was about to say something, it just was like, don't really make sense in essence. It happens sometimes. I'm having situations like that, and guess what? I still love myself. I'm not about to be mad at myself for that little brain fart, because that's all it is. I'm in the physical matrix, just having fun and learning and doing what I gotta do to reach the next stage or whatever the case may be. So it's not taking this to heart, because if I do take it too much to heart, and when my heart is being weighed up, in the transitioning age, it's gonna weigh heavier than that feather, because of all this low vibrations of what I was dealing with in the physical form is gonna be attached to my heart. I won't be able, like, whenever I'm gonna try to, go to that next level, the reflection of myself, in essence, because you're dealing with you're dealing with yourself, like you're judging yourself when you're transitioning. Yourself, like, sorry, you didn't learn like you're supposed to, and in essence, those lower vibrations aren't allowed where we're going. It's a reason why we were cleaning up ourselves and ringing the bell like, hey, time to take this a little serious, and not taking it serious to a place of being scared, like, I gotta run. No, just start taking it serious, like really start working on it, like making a full-time job to ascend. That's basically what it is. Kind of like how I don't deal with my 9 to 5. It's like, full-time job ascending. Because too, I know that source is gonna take care of me regardless, through the reflection, all the many reflections of myself, source is always gonna take care of me. So I always have that there. You know what, y'all? Think we're getting down to the end of the line? No. So yeah. That's it. Super moon that I was just speaking on coming. New moon, and it's a super moon. So it's going to be a little bit stronger than usual, because it's closer to Earth. It's going to have a stronger vibe to it. As a matter of fact, we're feeling it now as we speak. In essence, some of us may not, in essence, consciously feel it acting upon us, but it is definitely starting to work on us right now, but it's going to become way more strong as the days come, But that's basically it. I just want to, again, get back to that point. Oh, wait, hold on. I seen something that... I saw something about Kanye, because I thought about how that brethren is, again, thinking to look at my video about Paramahansa Yogananda and Michael Jackson, about, like, it's a chess game. What you may see is a sellout and somebody going crazy on a human aspect. You don't realize they're trying to, save your spirit, but the only way to do it is too. In essence, in the black community, we call it cooning. But like like how can I say, dipping into these places that may seem like sellout places, like, oh, Michael Jackson bleached his skin, this and that, but you don't know what by bleaching his skin, you don't know what the bigger picture. In fact, just go look at that video. I don't want to throw that. I don't want to doing, talking on that video, but definitely check it out. But now I think that's basically it. I just want to keep, vibrations. This world is not my home. We just passing through. That's all it is, so don't get caught up, like people is trolling you. Anybody that's trying to troll you into giving a damn about this matrix on a, like, especially if they call themselves being spiritual, but either fearmonger you or keep you to paying attention to, things. You might want to move around, and we, Dark Night of the Soul, like, you might have to do something that may seem like it's real hurtful, like up and leave your home, because the family members are just too, they're not there with it yet, whatever the case may be, or the spouse might be there with it yet, and you see yourself continuously growing, so you gotta part ways, whatever the case may be. What's more important, the bullcorn, the little stuff in this matrix? Of course, we like, my family I love, of course, but I know my family members have a soul spark inside of them where we could connect beyond this place, and it's not about me. Oh, I love the how can I say, the physical existence of all my family members, this and that. I love the vibration of love that we're, I'm not caught up in our physical existence, like, this is not what it is. This is not where it's at. And, yeah, man. Thank y'all. Oh, shout out to Good Morning from here in Belgium. Matter of fact, shout out to the international audience. Shout out to y'all, man. Blessings, man. I'm extremely grateful to have y'all here, vibing. The revolution would not be televised across the world. Yeah, it will. But yeah, thank y'all. Matter of fact, shout out to the domestic audience as well. You know what I'm saying? To the people within these United States, so they call this place. Where am I? I'm in LA, in the downtown area, the block around Macy's downtown. How do we find a balance point exactly? By just being, again, by being in that neutral spot. If you find yourself being in too much of agreement or disagreement with something, then already you you're supposed to be in that middle spot, be the observer, At the point, I ain't gonna lie, I'm about to tap out. I've been so many places, on so many different little subjects, Oh, Tennessee, and shout out to Tennessee, Colorado. Blessings to all y'all. Let's see. Oh, yep. Everything is proper. I see somebody for some Dean Winchester talk about the going down the rabbit hole of conspiracy and how that's just a part of the process. It is, because you look at my video, I had my little like I wouldn't. Matter of fact, because I had enough of a awakening dealing with meditation and the psychedelics. I knew not to dwell on these little conspiracy things and stuff like that, kind of like with me in the flat earth type of thing. Like I skimmed through it, but I know the vibe of that, so I'm not even trying to you do that stage, because that's a part of the growth. You gotta see what's going on around. So yeah, you will dip into the conspiracy, matter of fact, and find out about the Freemasons and all that type of stuff, and find out that you are the Illuminati and that they not the Illuminati, but they trick you into calling them that, like in essence. No, but that's all a part of the growth. You gotta go through the darkness to get through the light. Realize that a beautiful diamond, you see those beautiful diamonds? They were once a little piece of carbon. A little piece of carbon that if you picked up, you're like, oh, like, I think you think that's the code that Santa Claus left you for Christmas. Santa Claus. Which I don't have to speak on that. Y'all should know that that's some foolery. But anyway, that diamond is formed from carbon being in an extremous amount of pressure, and pressure don't feel good, being squeezed like that, that don't feel good. But after going through that process, it feels good to be, a beautiful diamond with extremely, with a high vibration, that not only has a beautiful physical, but a beautiful internal too, because the vibration of a diamond is different from the vibration of just carbon by itself, And also dealing with our spiritual, or with the same analogy, I should say, is our, when it's at its darkest, in the night sky, it's right before the sun comes up. So just when it seems like things is just going, that's why too, with the meditation and just making sure you stand close to higher self and stand away from negative people and things of this nature, because you just gotta know, trust the process, It's gonna bring at times, trust me, but just know that it's all good. You know how many times I got my book sack stolen, quote unquote, twice, which ain't nothing but my higher self took that for whatever reasons, Well, I know the reason I spoke on it in other videos, but I got my book sack, and you know how many crystals I went through, set of crystals, all that, like, it is what it is. Definitely. Yeah, shout out to y'all talking to you too and answering, certain questions that I might not have been able to get to. And some of y'all are, not say some like, like none of y'all, because there is no right or wrong, but let's just say a lot of y'all giving very factual information to one another. Because we deal with our own truths, Orange soda may not heal. In fact, orange soda may be harmful to one person, but let Bobby Hemmett tell it. Shout out, matter of fact, shout out to the brethren Bobby Hemmett. Like how you think it was orange soda. I just spoke on like how you could take something like an orange soda to heal something, by doing an alchemy. Because don't forget the placebo aspect, or like all this mind, like if you could visualize this orange soda going down and actually healing you, or visualize high vibration going through it and it becoming like a so that will help you could do it. So back to the aspect about what's true or not, orange soda could heal a stomach ache. That's neither true or false, It's like it's a certain truth for some people, or something is not a truth for somebody else. It's false to somebody else, Again, this universe ain't, that's why, again, stand in the neutral spot. no good or bad, you know. I pull the plug, my mom on that machine, you know, that's pumping her heart, keeping her, you know, keeping her. I ain't gonna say keeping her alive in that sense, but however you look at it. But you know, my mom on that breathing machine in the hospital, and some of the family members like, man, cut that machine off and just let her transition, you know. While other ones like, no, you know, seeing that as a quote unquote bad thing, you know. And two, see how they're emotionally invested. All that's bad. Then when you transition, you're going, you know, that hard, heavy vibration is gonna be attached and stop you from moving higher, you know. But again, you know, oh, that's bad. You don't want to do that. And then the other fam, you know, we rather just leave on the machine so go to her while she's on this machine. Oh man, that, you know, the other side could look at it. You know, there's no right or wrong. The bad is all different little things, different strokes for different folks. You know, whatever floats your boat or flies your lost remote. Yeah. Looking at the stars, just like the sun, you could also get downloads from the stars as well. You know, definitely. Well, all right. You see that straight panther? You on point with that. You just all in one motion. You in point. Like, did he go to the question? But it's like, if not, cool. I just keep researching, experiment. That's what it's about, right there. You know, because think about it, like I didn't, you know, and it's not to because matter of fact, when I say this, it's not one of those little vibes where I'm trying to like say, oh well, I didn't have that. Like, you know, nah, we picked our experience or whatever. So, you know, when I was about to say, like, I didn't grow up in no family of metaphysics, like, you know, like, so a lot of certain things I don't you know, I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I didn't have no teacher. In fact, I didn't have no YouTube person to send questions to or none of that in essence. Like, I just had to research and, like, again, my own experiment and research, just like you just said. You know, so that was really important. That's another thing too. Anybody that's trying to get you to come back to them, like, you know, like they're your guru, and the only way to that's trying to attach you to them on that level, you know, is hindering your growth. And whether they're doing it purposely or not, you know, it's taking you away from your ascension, you know, and keeping you in a certain place. Because even like with eating healthy, you know, like when I eat healthy, it was an experiment. You know, I started eating healthy, and I still was trying other little foods and stuff like that till I saw what wasn't working and what was working. You know, something, you know, like how I found a little niche where I could still drink my coffee. You know, if it's organic, you know, and I don't put nothing in it, and it's cold brew, and it's at a certain little time, using it for something that's for, like, I use it to read more or to study more or to deal with something that's you know, that's helping soul, and the acidic nature of it won't do nothing. And two, that acidic nature, if I do the right time, it'll bring balance to my energy, you know, as well. Yes, diet is a plus. Yes, we are the alchemists, though. Don't ever forget that. Like, ever since I found that we could do things with our mind, like, and two, it's a balance, because it came stubborn and was on that one side of, like, all right, no physical work. I ain't gonna say no physical work, but I'm like, oh, just everything, mind. It's like, you know, it does take a little physical work, but it's also, you too recognize, though, that yes, we manifest everything through our thoughts and words, but it may take some actions, you know, sometimes some physical action every now and then. I still like peanut butter and coffee. Hey, again, what works for you? Because they might have one person like, don't eat this and that, you know. I always bring up the pine nuts Dr. Sebi situation, you know, like, well, pine nuts not on the list, but pinoleic acid for the pineal gland, and I still eat them. You know, it works for me because too, what it is and what it is about this list, he don't have anything on there that is that basically was manufactured by somebody. So somebody like this, some gene splicing, because like a lot of fruits and vegetables may have been like crossbreeding and stuff like that, and they did it so long ago to where you get to now, you feel like it's a normal thing. Like, oh, it's normal for, you know, to have yellow raspberries or to have cotton candy grapes. Like, so say for instance, if we don't stop this now, realize the importance of the now and change now. If you don't stop it now, the kids, you know, when we go into the grocery store, the kids gonna think that these cotton candy grapes is the real thing. Oh, you know, this is what we supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like nah. You know, you gotta be right now as far as us, you know, dealing with that energy. Yep, the seedless watermelons, that's crazy. And that's how much of a chess game it is. And don't be discouraged, you know, because if you feel like just do your best, you know what I'm saying? Just do your best. Continuously work on it. That's the fun part. You know, it would be boring if you just, all right, I'm here as a baby. All right, snap, everything happens right, everything goes to my way, everything is just perfect, everything. Because then too, it would throw things off, and that's down from what I feel, for everything to go perfect for one individual may not mean perfect for the next in that sense, you know. But when you come out everything perfect and no, I don't have to do nothing, and what are you learning? What are you experiencing? Why did you even come down here? You know, like, what's the point? But yeah, the seedless watermelons, I'm about to say, you got organic seedless watermelons, non-GMO seedless, like, get out of here. Watermelons always had seeds. Oh. Do you believe in spells? Yes, is real. Somebody kind of answered that as well. Yep. Casting spells with the word casting, you know. It's a reason why the people that deal with movies are called a cast. And all those little terminologies, you know. The wood from a holly tree, the Hollywood, you know. Magic, programming your subconscious. Yeah, Shannon Miller, yeah, with the go to talking and then we like, all right, where was I? What was I? You know, it's all good. Y'all, I'm soon about to be out. About to go smoke some herb because that's what I choose to do. Not telling y'all to smoke herb, just telling you what I'm about to. Cause I did good, and like I use my herb a lot of times, especially when I'm doing herb at the level. I use it as kind of like a reward system. Like after I done did my video, finished working all day, it's like, how I could, you know, slow down brain cell action, you know, and just cold, like go in the right brain mode and just, you know, survive, you know, get out thoughts. And I gotta drop these other videos as well too, so. And it's in 2 hours. Oh yeah, Christian family, yeah, with not growing up with the metaphysics, yeah, I had to get it, you know, and that's why when some people like, you know, ask me certain things like, and I get it coming from, you know, but it's like, they might not realize that. Look, I'm a student in every of this stuff. Like I'm experimenting and working on things, experiencing things, researching things, myself. So it's a good growth for me. Yes, that's another thing too. Like I speak to that too. I always bring before I talk on psychedelics and herbs and eat things of this nature. We are the technology. Like all you need is your for air. You don't even have to eat food, to be honest with you. Like, and that's the thing too. Like that's how my videos. Like I used to speak to on vibe. Like I wouldn't even Matrix no love. I'm like, bro, look, we all about to learn these cryo yoga breathing techniques. We about to all not be food around this thing. You know what I'm talking about, man? About to all be eating. Matter of fact, the manna spoken of in the Bible that that they were eating off of when they were going through the wilderness. That's that. It's like the I gotta say, like the not just the chi, so something physically, but I just say like you're doing your breathing, that energy up the spine and it gets the medulla. That's kind of the medulla area. Kind of, I say that's the area that gives food when they're not eating in that sense. So whatever like the that replaces food comes from that area. Kind of, I don't recall anything well, so that's why most I could fall back. I'm not gonna start anything to sound smart. That's the E. I gotta sound smart. I don't need to identify with just information either. You vibe off of a little bit. I saw you doing is all love. I'm about to y'all, because if I make this video too long, people ain't gonna want to watch it. At the same time, that's up to them. But yeah, appreciate vibes, y'all. Appreciate y'all. With myself as each other. Matter of fact, I kind of want to go back to I finish and look at all these little comments, man. Blessings to y'all. I love y'all, man. Love all my reflections. Unconditional love for us, nothing. Love. You gotta love yourself. Love every aspect of yourself. Because the people, matter of fact, and too on the outside, in that sense, like people who seem like they being mean and being negative and being all stuck up, and that's who need love the most. So definitely send them some love. Some love. Much love and blessings. Not to the to the actions. Much love to KK members. Anybody who hate me, I love them. I love you. I love you all. Anybody who puts hateful comments on the videos, which I don't get too many hateful comments. I just get people trying to stupid. I love you. Thank you. You're that aspect me that thought about being sit under somebody's comments. I never press the send button, but I once had some of them same type of thoughts operated in my brain in the same type of way that some of y'all comment on videos, in a negative way, Like I once was there and I get it back, but go, what I was once dealing with, the same I speak at when I talk about like how like we're dealing with jewelry and stuff like that. When I'm selling my jewelry, and you have people like wanting a discount or wanting like like man, cheaper this and that. And a lot of that for me earlier in my growth when I first started, that was basically a reflection of my old self that used to, here it is that these people, their livelihood is dealing with, what material they selling or whatever. And I'm there trying to bargain them down, and stuff like that. Which though was real though, it was like lessons all in genuine naivety or being naive to that. Like I wasn't really thinking about, I'm just like, bro, I'm just trying to get this brace, I'm get this or whatever it was at the time I was interested, whether it be my roster business. Matter of fact, Shesai and Perry at University in Baton Rouge. If you're at Baton Rouge at Southern University, definitely check those brothers out. They got a on campus. Connecting with those virgins, like, it's 20. But two, I was trying to buy a lot of things. So it's like, can I get this price and this? And those vibrations come back around. I realized, hey, to love those vibrations. I would laugh in those moments, like, ha, that's the old me. And you just laugh and keep it moving. In fact, that's another thing to diffuse a lot of vibrations or just genuine energy, laughing. Like, when you laugh and smiling, like, certain energies is not able to even, exist, even down to breathing. I made a video about that. Like, when you deeply breathe, it takes the anger away, because when you breathe and it doesn't even allow the heart to have that little erratic heartbeat, or pain to have to deal with anger, it calms it, takes you out of that space, but definitely. Yes, blessings to y'all. Yep, y'all. But I think I'm about to call it a night. Oh, Baton Rouge, and that's what I just finished speaking. Like, I didn't even see this, and I'm from Baton Rouge. Either that or you probably typed it after I said 11. I speak too soon. But Brittany Noel. A Rio G, man. Shout out for you for that clap times thing. I didn't forget that. Monique S. Keys to Health and Happiness, Dean. Sorry if I saw your name, Kata Perron, Sydney Howlett, Jim Star, Goddess Supreme, shout out. Stray Panther, T-Flex TV. I know some of y'all, Cosmic Mortality, blessings. Shani Miller, blessings. I am Vintage Native, Young Drag, blessings. I think I've said name more than once. Nate Jones. Plus, I know some of y'all probably left. Terrence Garden, Neptune Beats. Blessings to all of y'all for the love and support as always. And always, which I be having to know my work, but it's a balance, because you gotta know your work. But then coming from a place like being in the Catholic and dealing with Christianity or that church, it'll feel sometimes it feel like that lower vibration of myself, or that low aspect of the way I thought about that aspect, as far as like asking for a donation. Like sometimes it'll kind of throw me off, like, because that vibration will come in. But then it's like, no, say it in a manner where it's, authentic. Like, only if you vibe with the information, only if you're really learning something from what I'm talking about, only then you, if you're really vibing to the information or whatever, then, a donation or whatever, it'd be greatly appreciated. But honestly, just the viewership, just connecting, you know, all love, you know what I'm saying? This money not going with me in the astral plane, just for me to have fun and sustain myself and eat the little foods I want, you know, and can amplify what I'm doing on this level, is, you know, maybe get like micro different things of that nature. But again, it's all about just to come to me, you know, in essence, you know. But again, it is about knowing your worth and making sure that I just out here, because again, you gotta be replenished. You can't be giving energy and not getting nothing back. Money is energy. I'm sitting here spending my time and time and energy, you know, in essence, they're kind of both in essence. But you know, all that time, and I'm not able to, you know, get revenue from other places or whatever the case may be, you know. So, you know, our energy from other places. So that's where it comes in. But only if you find information beneficial and helpful. Other than that, don't about it, y'all, because it's all love. I always tell people too, that's why the business aspect, like why sometimes I can, like, depending on the situation, where like somebody might be short a certain amount of money, or like somebody might not have the money moment, like somebody might walk up to me and want to buy a bracelet. Oh man, I ain't got the money right now. That, you know, and I feel that vibe, but they really, you know, want to grow and be that life. Like, oh yeah, bro, catch me whenever, you know. Like, oh man, no, I'm like, no, you good. I'm like, Source got me, you know, my highest got me. It's another thing, don't speak too much like it's something else. Oh, outside, like Source is you, we are Source. It's your high self, you know. But when a brother do that, I'm like, or brother and sister, I'm like, man, you know, Source got me. You know, if something pops up to where you're not able to pay me, Source gonna have somebody's PayPal donation, or I find a $20 bill on the ground, or whatever the case may be. It always come to me because the abundance is in me. You know, these little deals has nothing to do with my eternal abundance. Yes, it could sometimes personify the abundance that's within myself, but that is not, you know, all be all. Also, don't forget magnetic magnetize that energy. But y'all, I'm about to go. Last little holler shout out. Dean, that's that sauce right there. Dean, that's what I'm talking about. That what is called etymology, like the play on words like that. Exactly. That's too, like everything is dealing being on sea, like the cross maritime, like you on, like in the ocean, you know what I'm saying? Like that's all yep. That's all the vibration right there. But y'all, it's all love. It's all love and light. I'm soon about to go, y'all. I'm soon about to go. Ooh, good question. And I do have a video on this, but I'ma say this: to each his own. Wolf Red on if weed is bad for your spiritual growth. It's all on how you vibe and what's for you. I found that healthier the herb, the better. So if the herb is organically grown, and matter of fact, and two, vaping instead of smoking, you know, is also an option. You know, because again, it's the smoke harms and not the herb itself. You know, if I smoke something that's called the key to life, that's supposedly supposed to, you know, make me ascend in 1 second, you know, if I should be eating it or taking it in instead of smoking it, because when I smoke it, you know, the smoke is gonna damage the, you know, the oxygen. Then too, like at one time, that was a good thing. Damaging, like, cause I was over being my logic so much that it was to like damage a few little brains too, and I think about it like, 'cause that's why the Egyptians to take out the brain for the for the embalming session, because they knew like, bro, this shit ain't nothing like that. You're not using it as a tool that is controlling you and using you. So yes, bless. GA Peach meets Garden State. Shout out to Georgia and the Garden State. The Garden State, what that is, New Jersey? Sure. As a matter of fact, somebody just, again, that's just like a little indirect little download thing though too. Somebody's got something about the color purple. They're not talking about the movie. Again, this is when my information is not speaking to people on different parts of their growth. But of course, people who understand that the government and people who are trying to oppress is constantly trying to get your attention, and basically get you in a fearful place, program your conscience, and take you off your growth. For the people who know that already, when I speak on certain things level, that's that information not for you. Think about like how in LA now, like the city of angels, the battleground, which again, I say battlegrounds, it's not like we out here like, I'm again, it's a Vashna water, like them putting up pictures is doing something to my internals, you know what I'm saying? I think about like how they re-own the color purple at the Pantanges Theater, and basically kind of like for reinforcing, hey, remember these days when you was good old black, when you was a good old lady boy, not to do, just got a game and notice how they be trying to smile like, oh, yeah, I want to watch The Color Purple again for the umpteenth time, so I could reassure that I'm gonna lose my control over this. The control that I really don't have. That's why more so I'm so fearful. I know it's coming to an end. Yeah. Yeah. All right, y'all. Peace, love, and light. I have no more to say other than, all right, last little thing. These are crystals I'm working with in the moment. Matter of fact, that's why garnet, I see why garnet is perfect crystal. That's perfect crystal for Capricorn. That's why it's our stone, because it keeps away that pessimistic vibe that could all pop up, and not having it, and how important it is to be grounded and rooted, you know what I'm saying? But working with the black tourmaline, got the red garnet, and I know I'm showing y'all like this camera is so A1. Just for the, just preserve it. We got the agate right here. Definitely working with that heavy. Got the little ruby, nice ruby, and no inclusions, like a full nice ruby. Working with the serene cluster. Got baby that I got I found my new thing. I like the quartz that has little configurations in it. So not only is a cathedral quartz, one of them have a phantom in it. Man, when I saw it, like, oh my God, that's so sick. So sick. Oh. It's another thing, crystal. I had to learn that lesson on the trip. Crystals, we just work with them. Nothing you need to be hoarding and feel like, love them for what they are, you with them and we passing through. And they have divine energy to it, but just don't get lost in the physical sauce. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it does feel good to work with them, but just don't again on the sauce. Working with this beautiful little thing, and this is not a crystal, but got the little pine cone because it embodies that golden star ratio. By staring at a pine cone, and looking at it, and just having pictures, creating that life force, the mean spirals, torus field, spin, and all kind of energetic connections as do to us. Squash and selenite. That it. Matter of fact, you can use selenite to clear the stones as well. But like you put your crystals on. Because night doesn't pick up negative. So matter of fact, for us who perfect example, shungite is best cleared in the sun. But if you see fancy, you use sun don't shine a lot. Use other crystals like selenite one, and visualization to visualize. We are the technology. I'm about to go for now. Ending on the note of the bottoming. All this matrix stuff is just, I say smoke and mirrors, but I mean in essence, just know that your resistance is a personal being beyond this matrix. Realize that you're not trying to mate with nothing only on this level. This is all like a game, Gotcha. See you. Close the curtain. Other blessings. I'm out, man. Let me let these people. Peace. Happy now. I gotta do the intro. Now's the vibe. Not too far in the past. Right now. Peace. How do I stop this thing? Stop it. Come on. Okay. All right, y'all.